All right, it's September 1st, 2023. My name's Timothy French. We're in Bostic, North Carolina to continue on a quest to visit every town center in the state. So let's get started right here at their town hall. Got a beautiful town hall right there, and fire department back here in the back, right there behind where I parked over is. Just beautiful. Here crows off in the distance. Got a beautiful building here with this awesome looking door. Could be a cool building. It's papered up. I don't know if they're going to do something with it, but it's a cool town. This is Main Street. They got a florist right up the road there. Well, let's take a right and go down toward the tracks. This town was formed along the tracks like many others. We just left Ellenboro, and it was formed along the tracks as well. Whistle Stop Bakery, right there on the corner. They got some balloons out there to let you know. So when you come in town, make sure you stop and give them some of your money. This looks like it was a nice restaurant maybe at one time, with seating out back. It could be an event center now, but there's no name on it. Like I said, it was papered up. Here's the tracks down there, down here. Got some old trains off to the side there. So if you guys into trains and all, this looks like an old one you could come and look at. I don't know nothing about trains, but that looks like an old engine. Thermal Belt Railway. And then the 4601. That thermal belt, there's a thermal belt trail they built in between a lot of towns. I think Ruth was one of them, Forest City, and some others. And so maybe that train worked on that rail that went through there. Now the train, of course, the tracks are gone, but they made you can walk it or ride bikes, kind of like a rail trail. It's real popular. I hear a train coming now, so I better get across these tracks so I can see what's on the other side, because he's coming. So let's go over here on Depot Street. They got the Bostic Lincoln Center. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Bostic. It's open by appointment, you call them. They got a little caboose out front here too. But it's here because many believe that Abraham Lincoln was born here. And I watched a quick video of it, and I'll relay some of my thoughts on what I remember. And of course, you guys can fill in below, especially if you work here or live here. Anyway, apparently he was born 5 years earlier than they say he was in Kentucky, where most people believe he was born. And his mother's name was Nancy Hank, and supposedly she lived here or close by here. I think they named the creek that he lived nearby on, and worked for a man, owned a lot of land there, and ended up getting pregnant by her. And his wife, of course, did not like that, and so he made her leave, and he built a little cabin for her that's around here somewhere. And you can go see the foundation's still there. Of course, the cabin's gone, but you can go see where it was. And Abraham Lincoln was apparently born right there. And then, if I'm remembering the video right, that the man, I can't remember his last name now. I wish they would say it. Yeah, Puzzle Creek was where he was, and there's Abraham Inlow employed her about 2 miles northeast of here. And the story goes that the young woman, Nancy Hanks, had been bound out to the Inlows by her mother, and in February 1805, while on the plantation, gave birth to a boy whom she named Abraham. And they got the commemoration of Abraham Lincoln birth site on October 30th, 1926. That's gonna be loud. Blowing it. Keep blowing it. There's the newer engines. They are loud. So apparently this is supposed to be her and him. And Inlow arranged for Nancy to marry Thomas Lincoln, and a worker, something, I can't say that word. Anyway, sealing the deal with cash, a team in wagons. Records show that Nancy and Thomas were married in Kentucky, and the presiding deacon's account was of the young boys present at the ceremony. So he would have already been born if that's true. And I would, a deacon wouldn't lie, would he? A deacon wouldn't lie. And the Enlow Plantation was a prestigious in contrast to the small subsistence farm surrounding it. The rich watered bottomland provided well for the Enlow family, and the farm offered employment for many others. I said you can learn more here, and I think I'm correctly saying that name, Enlow. So yeah, that's interesting. And I looked at that video, and there was some accounts that somebody from 18 that grew up with Lincoln. They interviewed him back in the 1800s, I guess. I think I got that right. They interviewed him, and he said that it was well known in his neighborhood and all the kids he grew up with that the man that he was living with, Lincoln, was not his real father, and that his real father's name was Enlow. And so the only way I can think that all those kids would have known that is if, of course, his mother, Abraham Lincoln's mother, told him that who his father was, and he knew it, and they didn't think no big deal about it, and he told all his friends, and so that's just the way it was. No big deal. And so I kind of believe he was born here. Of course, everybody in Kentucky, they're not going to like that. They don't want that. They want him to be born up there. But if it could be proven with DNA, which I believe these people here have tried to get them to do, and I guess people won't agree to it. I guess they're afraid that it might be true, and they'd lose that status of where Abraham Lincoln was born. Like I said, I kind of believe it. Makes sense. Things like that happened back in the day. And if they can ever prove it, that'd be cool. Got a little memorial here. Fought and gave their lives for their countrymen. Yeah. Let's take one last take one last look back at Bostic, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this walk and talk tour of the town center and the little story about Abraham Lincoln. If you did, I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe and share. Y'all take care.